Hey TPT sellers, it's Mike Fuchigami. I am the host of the SEOTpreneur YouTube community. I just made a sale 30 minutes ago, and I want to see if I can recreate the magic. Wouldn't it be neat if there was a way that after you hear that ka-ching, that you could do certain things to get another ka-ching, maybe of the same product or maybe of a different product? That would be magical, right? So I'm going to try to experiment here. I was thinking about what makes something go viral, whether it's on TPT or social media, because algorithms are just computer formulas, right? If you were going to write a formula that could detect when things were becoming popular, I guess what I would do is, okay, if a sale of a product happens, let's show that again to other people and see what happens, right? Let's give it a little bit of a TPT SEO rank boost. So it's a little bit higher in the search result page. And then if someone else buys it, then maybe it goes a little bit higher. And then maybe if someone else buys it, it goes a little bit higher. And then eventually it becomes viral and more people see it. And because it's so good or so timely, then other people start buying it and it snowballs. The flip side would be, hey, I made a sale. I got a little bit of a TPT SEO boost. No one else buys it. Okay, it just goes back to normal. Something that I'm recently thinking is that this TPT SEO halo effect is actually store-wide in your TPT store. So if you have a resource that sells now, all of your resources get a little bit of a TPT SEO nudge up, right? It's a little bit of a halo effect. And then that's why sometimes we see other resources selling after you update your store. Let me know if you've had the experience where you work on something in your store, you update a resource, you reply to a buyer, you do some action on your store, and then a little bit later, you make a sale. And it's not necessarily the sale of the same product. It could be, but more times than not, it's a sale of something completely unrelated and it has you scratching your head like, how did that happen? Let me know if you've ever had that experience. Leave a comment. I'm going to see if I can play here for a couple minutes. The resource that sold was this critical thinking, evaluating, reading comprehension strategy lesson. And I bet you that if I put evaluating at the very front, I think that'll rank higher for the keyword evaluating. So I'm going to do a little bit of keyword research before I make any changes. So this is what the resource looks like. And before I tinker, I'm going to save a copy of this. This is my evaluating reading strategy. All right. Backup descriptions. I don't save this one often. Reading, and it's the strategy evaluating. And I'm going to call it before glow up. A TPT seller in the pro forum had to explain to me, no, glow up is a thing. It's like slang, not just TPT land. And I'm like, oh, I am so uncool. All right, so before glow up. On the pro side, sometimes I tinker around with different tools just to see what will happen. This is just experimental, and that's why it's not public yet. I'm going to go to data tools, and then let's go to the pro AI tool. Now I have to make a copy, and there's some code in there. I have to accept that it's going to make a copy of this app script file. Kind of like watching paint dry as Google Sheets slowly allows the formulas to access the internet and look at the TPT search pages. The numbers show up. These are reviews right here. Sometimes it'll say loading and sometimes it'll just say 0. Because it says the number of reviews here is 000, I know that that data hasn't loaded yet. And that's why this is still experimental. I might have to code it so it says loading, because otherwise someone might think, oh, there are 0 reviews. I should definitely go for that. But there's no way that critical thinking activities has 0 competition. And we can see here for strategies, for example, which has a popularity rank of 30, there are 490,000 competitors, but it says 000 for the reviews. And that's just because that data hasn't loaded yet. Now, are all these keywords relevant? No, of course not. This is just tinkering. We're just trying a little experiments. And if we get a gem of an idea in here, that's awesome. Digital escape rooms are still $285. Me wonders the way people use the TPT search. If I type evaluating reading, it doesn't show up at all. Sometimes I wonder if people are typing a phrase and then they see something show up in the popular now, and then they just click on it because that's easier than typing it out. So let's say I'm looking for reading comprehension activities. And I type reading comprehension. Oh, maybe I just click on reading comprehension because it's right there. Now, as the data loads, it shows up here on the AI suggest tool. And what the AI suggest tool does is it highlights it so that the largest, best numbers are in color. and the worst numbers are just plain white. So far, digital resources has a popularity rank of 7,500, but the average number of resources for that on the first page is 2,100. So like 20,000 sales. Yeah, there's no way I can even rank for that. Oh, a few more popped up here. Maybe I need to add something because at most there will be 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be 4 terms suggested by ChatGPT, and each of these have up to 5 auto-suggest terms from TPT. So at most, there'll be 20 here. So maybe what I need to do is add one of those progress bars so that once you have 20 terms, it turns green or something. Again, experimental technology. But if you like this kind of thing, if you think this is interesting, if you want to start playing with the tool, go to SEOTpreneur.com. I tidied up the menu. There's a section that says TPT SEO Tools. If I just click the TPT SEO Tools, it'll scroll down and I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools. And the one that we're looking at right now is this AI-powered keyword suggestion tool for TPT sellers. If I look at the raw data, there's still 2 search pages that are still loading. Is there a more efficient way to make this? Maybe. Using this AI tool, I think you can use it once, twice, before Google will start slowing you down. So that last one is still loading. By the way, refreshing the page won't really change anything. It's still loading here, as you can see. That'll only change if the formula changes or if I update the keyword term. Now, while I'm waiting for that last number to load, I'm going to get the TPT SEO tool from my TPT seller store, download it, save it to my computer, grab that, get the forced copy Google Sheet, make a copy. And I want to see if I show up for, what should a keyword be? Evaluating reading strategy. My store name is EduCircles. Let's give access to the internet. I can see it's loading here. Now this should also run slowly because it's using the same formulas and Google can detect that I have multiple sheets open. We're starting to load some numbers here. Oh, finding the best main idea. I show up on page 8. That's not the resource we're talking about. What I'm trying to do is see where I currently show up because I don't want to mess up my rank either. And this is partially why some of these tools are in the experimental phase, because maybe this is a deal breaker, the speed of the connection. I mean, there are ways that we could speed it up, but there would have to be a cost because of the way that we have to run the servers. But let me know in the comments, is the speed of these results a deal breaker for the price point? And the price point of this resource is $80 if you bought this keyword search tool by itself. Don't do that. Instead, scroll down and get the bundle, which is only $10. So basically less than $10 to get this tool because you get a bunch of other resources as well. Oh, there I am. So I can see I show up on page 1. There I am evaluating reading comprehension strategies. That's not the resource that was purchased. The resource that was purchased, I think, was the second one, critical thinking and evaluating. Isn't it funny how sometimes it loads an image and sometimes it doesn't? What's that first resource? Let's have a peek at that. Oh, this is the digital easel by TPT version. What other resources show up for this search term? So if I click on this page, informational text reading strategies, evaluating evidence, evaluating making judgments. Maybe making judgments is a term. All right, let's go back to trending keywords. Let's look up making judgments, making inferences, making words, making predictions, making change, making connections. What about judging? Oh, that's probably going to get bullying stuff. Judging. I don't even know if I spelled that right. What else? Can we get inspired by anything here? Evaluating reading comprehension strategy, lesson, and then here's the non-easel version. All right, I can see page 3 is still loading. Wow, this is a deal breaker for me. It's slowing down my ability to do research. Sometimes no suggestions will come up because it's just too niche or too specific, or there are no related search terms. What if I just put reading strategy? What do I get for that? Reading strategy posters. I could connect to that. And what if I put reading strategies, plural? I get the same. And that's probably because in this example, TPT search has probably decided these are the same words, reading strategy and reading strategies. Oh, competitors has loaded. No, has it? All right, the number of competitors has loaded. So the AI suggest tool, really, the best case scenario would be where all the colors line up. That's the hidden unicorn of a gem that we're looking for. So the closest I have is this one here, which is Digital Escape Room, which doesn't fit at all. Now with this AI tool, now that it's loaded up a bunch of options, I'm just gonna select all of these, shift down, right click, copy. All right, I'm gonna hit this plus sign to make a new sheet. I'm gonna paste in here and I get all the colors in here. And so this is just going to be a little tracking place where I put some possibilities. I can see where I'm ranked for evaluating reading strategy. So I'm just going to copy that, Control C. I'm going to go to my tracking page and I'm just going to right click, paste special, values only. Okay, what if I want to see where I show up for the word for just evaluating? So I'll just let the little engine run. Maybe I'll go have dinner or something. If I don't send the full article and just send a snippet, do I get different words? Evaluating ideas? Oh, it won't work because there's too many commas. Let's look up critical thinking and get some stats for that. All right, we'll let it think. It finished loading up for evaluating for all grade levels, and I don't show up at all in the first 10 pages of search results. I was going to say it's mostly math, but it's not. This one here is real news versus fake news and evaluate arguments and claims. Oh, that's very interesting. They put the standard in the title, evaluate arguments. Maybe what I need here is the ability to filter it by subject. I don't know that I want to really change, except maybe making evaluating earlier. Do I show up for critical thinking at all? Let's do that. I don't show up for evaluating, but none of my resources show up for evaluating. What if I change it to middle school? Results are loading. They're all in red. There we go. So it's loaded. Sometimes it's faster than others. So I don't show up for the top 10 pages for evaluating. None of my resources do. There's a lot of math in here. Being able to filter out by grade level would be good. I'm going to try an experiment. If I go to my product listings. So this resource was last modified August 9th, 2022. And I'm just curious, if I edit it and just change the product description slightly, use this evaluating reading strategy lesson, I'm going to hit submit. I just updated a resource that I haven't updated since 2022. If I go to my product listings and I hit refresh, the last modified date is May 30th, 2024. The real question is whether or not that plays an impact onto TPT SEO. I didn't change the content at all, and I did a really minor change to the product description. And I'm curious now whether this will make a difference. How will I evaluate this? Let's try this. Evaluating reading strategy. So 5:41 p.m., Thursday, May 30th. It's another data science experiment. And the resource in question here is page 1 at the top here. So this is literally right after I change things. Let's just keep track of this. Tracking. What did I do here? Oh, wait a second. Did the rank go up already? That's not possible. Oh, because I'm looking in middle school. I'm not looking in all. Phew. All right, let's go back and change that to all. It's got to be consistent in our science experiment. Control-Shift-V. All right, I want to get rid of the middle school one because I think it's going to just be confusing. So let's just delete this. There we go. And the resource in question is this one, critical thinking / evaluating. All right. So right now I'm at position 4. And I think because it hasn't been updated in 2 years, that when I check in 48 hours, I think the position will have changed. What do you think? Leave a comment. This was just a rambling kind of video, wasn't it? But that's part of the game. I think we tinker around. We try to experiment with keywords to figure out, oh, I sell this resource when I have this keyword. I don't sell this resource when I take it out. And then apparently the position of the keyword matters as well. So yeah, question for you. What do you think the rank of this resource will be in a day or two? Second question is, how do you play with your keywords to try to figure out what works and what doesn't work for a resource? And how often do you go back and revisit that keyword to make sure it's still working? All right, see you next time. Bye-bye now.